something very strange is happening in the depths of the Pacific. Scientists observed a very mysterious shift in ocean temperatures. Strange wind patterns surprised everyone, and a silence that seems to be hiding a terrible storm within it. Scientists are observing, and all these signs are pointing towards an event that cannot be stopped. La Niña is coming. This is not just a change in the weather, but La Niña has a history of testing even the limits of nature. Because of La Niña, we have witnessed many devastating floods, such droughts that turned even rivers into sand, and such cold storms that completely froze many regions. Summer is coming soon in India, and heat waves can cause us a lot of damage. But on the other hand, the Pacific is getting colder. The atmosphere there is changing very rapidly. Because of this, the entire world's weather system is getting ready for a major change. Now we have a question. What will happen when La Niña arrives at a time when we are already struggling with record temperatures, droughts, storms, and heat waves? It is considered its sibling. If we talk about La Niña, it starts from the depths of the Pacific, where powerful trade winds push warm water to the western side of the ocean. La Niña is also. It is considered a sibling where powerful trade winds push warm water to the western side. La Niña is considered its sibling. Where powerful trade winds push warm water to the western side of the ocean. La Niña is considered its sibling, where powerful trade winds push the warm water to the western side of the ocean. La Niña, it's not a new phenomenon for us, but each of its events is unique in itself and brings along many dark mysteries. It reminds us how small our advancements can seem in the face of nature. La Niña impacting the whole world on such a massive scale also challenges our understanding of climate. The global impact when La Niña strikes, its effects will be seen all over our globe. The weather everywhere will behave very strangely, which could lead to extreme conditions in many areas. In Northern America, La Niña can make winter temperatures even lower. The cold air coming from the Arctic will give rise to cold storms and freezing conditions over a large area. Meanwhile, strong hurricanes may be seen in the Gulf Coast and southeastern America. Across the Pacific, the effects of La Niña will be dramatically different. There is a warning of heavy rain and storms in Australia and Southeast Asia. Rivers will be at flood stage, and there is also a possibility of devastation from floods in many areas. A large population will have to take shelter elsewhere. This is going to be a big test for the environment and our infrastructure. Our cities will turn into ponds, and people in coastal areas will also be living in constant fear. Because there, the monsoon, storms and floods could turn into a never-ending cycle. The impact of La Niña will also be seen in South America, but the situation there will be completely opposite. The African continent will not be spared from this either. The Sahel and Greater Horn of Africa have already suffered from heavy rainfall, but now they will find themselves surrounded by a long-lasting drought. The lives of millions of people will be at stake. There are many communities in Africa that depend on seasonal rainfall, but when there is no rain and the water reservoirs have dried up, they could also face widespread famine. Apart from this, La Niña is not only related to changes in weather, rainfall, floods, or droughts. Its roots go much deeper. But it will break the harmony between us and nature, and we will be struggling one way or another. Are we ready for this? The chances of La Niña occurring have increased so much and are so clear that they cannot be ignored. The temperature in the Pacific has started to decrease. The winds are getting stronger, and the strange changes in the ocean waves are hinting that something big is about to happen. It feels as if nature is constantly warning us. We are being given time so that we can prepare to endure it. Scientists all over the world are trying to understand these patterns so that some information can be extracted from them. Real-time data is being extracted from satellite data and instruments present in the ocean so that the effects of La Niña can be simulated. This is not just for academics and information, but decisions about the lives of millions of people will be made based on this data. There is so much rain expected in the cities of Central Asia that the streets will turn into rivers. The areas where there are higher chances of drought will be continuously surveyed so that the crops can be saved. Emergency response teams are always kept ready for flood defense around the coastline. Infrastructure will be our first line of defense, but La Niña will also test them to their limits. The bridges, roads, and buildings we have constructed, which are designed to last for decades, La Niña could also cut short their lifespan. They will confront us in ways we could never have imagined. Apart from this, the British carried out several secret experiments related to fog. Everything was destroyed. It was the biggest natural disaster in Australia's history, and La Niña was held responsible for it. Scientists were calling it a natural disaster, but what some experts said might be hard for anyone to accept. They said that there might be a powerful force behind it. A force that has learned to manipulate the weather on a large scale. Meanwhile, in 2010, a very strange incident takes place. Suddenly, a tsunami warning on several Pacific islands surprises everyone. Panic spreads among the people. But the strangest thing was that there was neither any earthquake nor any tsunami that day. Those were false alarms. That incident not only raised questions about the warning system, but for some people, this event was pointing towards a much bigger mystery. Today, we see mysterious weather patterns all over the world. Is it possible that extreme events like floods, droughts, and wildfires are actually part of some mysterious and deep conspiracy? Or is it simply happening because of La Niña? But the most frightening question is, can La Niña be engineered? As a result, large parts of the central and eastern Pacific Ocean suddenly become very cold. When the Pacific Ocean becomes cold like this, the entire global weather system gets disturbed. And we see unpredictable natural disasters in different places. There have always been mysteries around La Niña because it's impossible to predict what effect La Niña will have on the world. Sometimes it causes floods in Australia, and other times the whole of Australia is hit by drought. By the time we realize where La Niña is going to cause destruction, it's already too late. Usually, every 2 to 7 years, the Pacific Ocean goes through a cooling cycle like this, which gives rise to disasters like La Niña. But what if this natural cycle isn't entirely natural as we often think? Let's step into the world of possibilities, where weather manipulation or geoengineering isn't a conspiracy for some people, but a reality that has a grip on every person's life. But the question here is, can weather be engineered? And the answer will scare you to your core. At the start of 2000, the idea of weather manipulation grabbed a lot of headlines. It is said that at that time, the American government conducted several secret experiments using technologies like HAARP, or High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, to influence the Earth's ionosphere. Their goal was to control weather patterns and even trigger hurricanes and droughts. Could this technology be somehow connected to the very strange shifts in weather that occurred during La Niña? These events are so extreme that even scientists can't explain them. That's why some conspiracy theorists believe that a dangerous event like La Niña could be a weapon of some hidden force. A natural question that might come to our mind is, why would any secret organization or country want to control the weather on such a large scale? The answer is to establish their dominance over the world. By engineering events like La Niña, an enemy country can be economically devastated. We have already seen the race to become a superpower during the Cold War. So, isn't it possible that a Cold War is also being fought to control the weather, but in a very secretive way? Because there are many advantages to this. By using weather as a weapon, destruction can be caused in enemy territory. Its military advantages cannot be ignored. By controlling rain and temperature, floods and droughts can also be prevented. This can also increase crop yields. With this, any country can establish its agricultural dominance. By using weather as a weapon in an enemy country, their entire economy can be destroyed. This can even influence major global events. This increases the country's geopolitical power. The most dangerous thing about all this is that everything can be done secretly without the enemy country ever finding out. And this is what makes it the deadliest weapon. A global has increased the scale so much that it's beyond our imagination, and people all over the world have suffered the consequences of that. Some conspiracy theorists point out the Club of Rome, which is a group of scientists and policymakers, which in 1972 put forward the dangerous idea of climate manipulation for population control. Could La Niña be a test subject for that? A phase of global weather engineering designed to manipulate Earth's weather cycles? Just think about it. Every flood, drought, and wildfire that we blamed on La Niña, what if they were all part of a much bigger plan? Whether it's population control, resource distribution, the struggle for power and authority, or something even more dangerous. If someone is really controlling the weather like this, then they must be part of a very powerful and secret mission. In the strangest and most disturbing theories related to weather control and La Niña, you often see the involvement of the military. There's a conspiracy theory that in 2015, a document was leaked from the Pentagon. In it, strategies were outlined for using weather as a weapon for military purposes. That paper referred to some weather modification techniques with which the enemy country could be harmed, causing everything from famine-like epidemics to social disorder there. Now you can connect this to La Niña. The weather patterns created by La Niña are no joke. Floods on a very large scale. In some places, years of drought and crops get destroyed in every possible way. If these events are being deliberately staged at the right time, then understand that La Niña is not a natural disaster, but rather an ultimate weapon. Of 2013, the typhoon named Haiyan had completely devastated the entire Philippines. It was the biggest and most powerful storm recorded at that time, but the timing of that storm was very strange. This was the time when the Philippines was demanding strong climate action at global summits. Some people said that typhoon was a warning to the Philippines. Could that storm really have been just a coincidence? Did it become a headline amid international political tensions? HARP Facility, Alaska. There is a very mysterious installation in Alaska, and some people believe that it is a weather manipulation station, which has the power to influence even the ionosphere. However, the facility claims that its purpose is only to conduct atmospheric research, but some people say that HARP can even trigger events like La Niña. Now, how much truth there is to this, no one really knows. But if America could control the weather, maybe the California wildfires wouldn't have become so devastating. But maybe their secrecy is getting in the way here. Next are chemtrails, those white clouds that rockets leave behind, and we can see them in the sky for quite a while. Many people also believe that this is just another method of weather modification. Some kind of chemical is released into the clouds so that the weather can be changed as desired. It is possible that this is a method of weather control, but I feel scared thinking that we used to see these chemtrails a lot in our childhood, but we never really knew why this happened. But we also didn't know that, behind the sight we watched so innocently, such a dangerous conspiracy could be hidden behind it. Maybe we will never fully know the truth behind it. The question is whether La Niña is natural or a weapon created by humans, who is controlling it, and why. It is possible that this question will always remain unanswered. But one thing is certain, humans have always had the desire to understand and control nature. Of course, in every movie, we humans try to stop that disaster, and maybe some people even survive by the end of the movie. There are a lot of such news stories, and you can even find many YouTube videos about them where they talk about the different ways our Earth could be destroyed, like Nibiru and Planet X, the Mayan calendar, and many other ancient prophecies like these. Great floods, unstoppable fires, religious prophecies, volcanoes, tsunamis, and disasters coming from space. Some of these claims are made on a scientific basis, while others are completely different. These cannot be verified, nor can they be predicted in advance. In today's modern era, we cannot live under illusions. For entertainment, we can certainly imagine Nibiru and Planet X. Today, we know that asteroid impacts on Earth are considered only in terms of probability. Yes, this is not a prophecy, this is an inevitable event that cannot be avoided. We know that today there are about 7.8 billion humans on Earth, but it was not always like this. Our history is not that old. Modern humans have only been on this Earth for 3.4 million years. But the great apes used to be here a few million years ago, and before them there were some species that evolved and became the great apes. This timeline of evolution can go back 50 to 60 million years in history, but if we go back in time, we might be surprised to see that humans gradually evolved from such creatures. Of course, here we find out that evolution is a very slow process. On a single human timescale, we might not notice much, but on the vast timescale of millions of years, evolution is inevitable. Evolution cannot be stopped. Over time, the conditions on our Earth kept changing. The pressure on the species living here to survive also kept changing in the same way. Those who endured that pressure kept moving forward, and those who couldn't endure it gave an opportunity for other species to advance. And in the meantime, some random genetic mutations also occurred in living beings. Some mutations helped the organisms adapt to the changing environment, and genes passed on those traits to the next generations, and that's how we are able to see the world as it is today. Mutations are still happening today and will continue to happen. Many dangerous diseases are caused by genetic mutations, and sometimes these things also turn out to be a boon for us. But if we talk about millions of years from now, of course we humans will still be here on Earth, but no one would have been able to stop evolution. We are talking about the future millions of years ahead. There will definitely be humans there, but maybe not everyone will be human. Maybe some other species will be ruling this Earth, and it's more likely that it will be an advanced version of us humans. But even at that time, humans and that species will be facing the ultimate pressure from nature. Because of the planet's changing climate and limited resources, because of other species and humans, because of world wars, nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons, because of new diseases and natural disasters, they will also face the pressure to survive. Mutations will keep happening, and eventually, for one reason or another, the end will come. How many people survive a disaster won't matter anymore. Humans will disappear from this world. On a geological and astronomical timescale, if not today, then tomorrow, human existence will end. And for us, that will be the first step towards the end of this world, which will begin with our own extinction. Apart from that, the humans who will be living on other planets or who have migrated from Earth may never want to return to this planet, because what is going to happen next will be even more terrifying. By the way, for the humans who have left Earth and gone somewhere else, will evolution leave them alone there? This is a question for you. Anyway, if we come back to Earth, nowadays it feels like our good fortune that our planet, our Earth, is exactly the right size and mass, where an atmosphere is possible, and it's at just the right distance from the Sun. Our planet is formed by the combination of many such parameters, where flowing water on the ground becomes the source for life to flourish. And if there's even a slight change in any of these properties, all the equations of life here would completely change. The diversity and variety we see in life on Earth today would not exist at all. Billions of years ago, the Earth was completely surrounded by the ocean. Like an oceanic world where first simple and then complex life began, life came to land millions of years after that. But during this time, evolution didn't just happen to us. The sun, sitting at the center of our solar system, is also a product of evolution, and eventually it will be the first to take away the oceans from this Earth over time as the sun keeps converting its internal hydrogen into helium through nuclear fusion. The sun will get even hotter and start to expand. It will become even brighter and will begin to release even more energy. About 1 to 2 billion years from now, the energy released by the sun will reach a critical point. That energy will be so intense that as soon as it hits Earth's oceans, the oceans will start to boil. As soon as the oceans start boiling, Earth's atmosphere will fill with water vapor, resulting in a global greenhouse effect that will engulf the entire planet. Earth's temperature will start to rise dangerously, and at that time, our planet will also become a hell like Venus. Conditions on Earth will become inhospitable for life. Almost all species living on the surface will be wiped out. Only those organisms that can survive above the clouds will be able to survive. And in this way, nature will decide the future direction of life on Earth. But by then, humans will already have perished or left the Earth. Even then, nature will become even more ruthless towards the Earth, and the next phase will be even more dangerous. You might be thinking that the oceans boiling and turning into steam was terrible, but what do you think about this? That everything present on Earth will break apart and even its atoms will disappear from this world. Everything that ever existed on this surface will turn to ash. Every trace of it will be lost in the dust. The conditions here will become like those on the first planet of our solar system, Mercury. Something like this will happen to the Earth in the next 5 to 7 billion years. When the hydrogen fuel in the core of the sun is completely exhausted, then the great destruction will begin. Its core will keep contracting and heating up due to helium and heavy metals, which will cause the sun's outer layers to start expanding. As the sun expands, its outer layers will keep cooling down, but at the same time, the sun will become even more luminous as its core gets hotter and contracts further. Helium fusion will start there, and our sun will change from a main sequence star to a subgiant, and then from a subgiant to a fully fledged helium-burning red giant. And our Earth will also feel pressure on its very existence, but it won't be able to withstand that much pressure. Our sun will become about 100 times bigger than it is today, and its brightness will increase thousands of times compared to now. The Earth will be completely devastated, and it will slowly start moving away from its orbit. The sun will have already swallowed the nearby planets Mercury and Venus. However, this phase of burning helium will last a very long time, from hundreds of thousands to billions of years, and eventually the sun will also run out of helium, and when that happens, its core will contract and get even hotter, and then there will be no additional fusion reactions. The sun will soon die. With a big explosion, its core will turn into a white dwarf, and its layers and outer surface will be blown off into space with a blast. This will create a planetary nebula. Even if the red giant doesn't swallow the Earth during this phase, there will still be no chance for Earth to survive. And if it does swallow it, the story will end right there. And if not, it will keep orbiting in a solar system that has become a graveyard, circling around a dim, small star. But even then, this is not the end of the story. Swallowed and rejected. Now, whether humans disappeared from Earth long ago or left it behind, or the Earth is no longer habitable. After that, the most precious thing left here, water, was attacked. Its seas dried up, they boiled and turned into steam. After this, everything turned to ash. And finally, Earth will keep orbiting in this solar system, which will be like a graveyard for billions of years. Cosmic rays will keep raining down on Earth for quadrillions of years, but even then, our Earth will continue to exist like a corpse. In this darkness-filled space around the cold, dead star, this scene will keep going on until a collision with some object destroys our Earth, or it gets absorbed and its existence is erased. This universe is truly a terrifying place where violent things keep happening, and maybe that's just the law of the universe. some object will pass close to our Earth and gravitationally throw the Earth out of this solar system. And the Earth will keep wandering like a rogue planet in this infinite universe for eternity. The Earth will remain in this solar system where there will be neither sunlight nor warmth. It will orbit that dwarf star countless times, and in the end, after billions and trillions of years, it will merge into it, and this is how the story of the Earth will end. This world will inevitably end one day, the place where we live, which we call Earth. If creation is a fact, then destruction is the ultimate fact, and here we are not speculating. We are not making a wild guess with our eyes closed. Rather, this is a conclusion drawn from our current scientific understanding and achievements. How to protect ourselves, how to live with freedom and self-respect. That is something we will have to decide so that we can represent ourselves as humans in this universe in a better, more enduring way. Anyway friends, let us know what you think about this in the comments section. If you like this video, be sure to like it and share it with your friends. For more informative videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and enable the bell notification. Friends, we'll meet again soon with another new informative video like this. Until then, stay curious, be happy, and goodbye.